My name is John Kane, and this is the formal presentation for my internship that I did at Tennova Healthcare over this past summer. This is a map of East Tennessee where Tennova Healthcare is actually located, and it shows the various hospitals, surgery centers, rehab centers, and some of the physician groups that are actually located in the East Tennessee area. Not all of them are pictured, but the largest ones are in fact on the map. These are the three main hospitals that I spent time at. The top left picture is North Knoxville Medical Center. The top right picture is Physicians Regional Medical Center. And the bottom picture is Turkey Creek Medical Center. The majority of my time at Tennova Healthcare was spent at Physicians Regional Medical Center, but I also spent a few weeks at North Knoxville Medical Center and a few days at Turkey Creek Medical Center. Tennova Healthcare is one of the primary and growing healthcare providers in the East Tennessee area. It has 7 major area hospitals underneath the larger umbrella that is Community Health Systems. And Community Health Systems is actually the largest healthcare provider of hospitals in the United States. So it's definitely a well-established company and is continuing to grow as time goes on. CHS is adding hospitals constantly and improving everything about the company itself. So why Tennova? I chose Tennova primarily because I know that people are one of my passions that I have in life, and more specifically the broken, especially the needy, that both physically and spiritually. One of the things that I've felt since I was a small kid was that I just wanted to help people in whatever way I could, and what better place to help heal some of the physical and spiritual brokenness than the place where people go to when they're at their worst, a hospital, right? One of the passages of scripture that's been kind of the driving force behind this was Mark 2:17. When Jesus heard this, he told them, "Healthy people do not need a doctor, sick people do. I've come to call not those who think they are righteous, but those who know they're sinners." So the people that know that they're hurting and broken are the ones that need the most help and that want the most help. And like I said, no better place than a hospital to heal some of those ailments that afflict everyone, no matter what status or where you come from in life. You always need the help of a physician or a doctor, and spiritually, that physician and doctor is Jesus Christ. But practically here on earth, he's put people that are a lot more intelligent than we are here to be able to cure some of our ailments, and so I believe that I'm best suited to do that. Also, it doesn't hurt anything that my dad, Mark Kane, works for Tennova Healthcare and has worked there for the past 3 years. Some of the duties and responsibilities that I had were really kind of dependent upon what projects I was doing. The first project that I was assigned when I was there were two different database systems that had all of the physicians that worked with Tennova Healthcare, associated with Tennova Healthcare in any sort of way. They were in this database. So I had to go through the entire database to make sure that all of their information was accurate, and that they still worked at Tennova Healthcare or any of the hospitals associated with Tennova. So I went up through over 700 physicians to make sure that their information was correct, and I had to take some physicians out because they no longer were associated with Tennova. Another project that I was given was to update the entire Tennova.com website, which was really difficult because their website was pretty vast, and there was a lot of things that were incorrect. Some of the dates were wrong. Physicians no longer were associated or worked at Tennova Healthcare, and so I had to basically window shop as if I didn't know anything about the company at all, and attempt to find various service lines like the cancer center or bariatrics, and see if I could figure out the information that I wanted to find, as if I was a mystery shopper, like I said, and didn't know what I was doing. So I could go in and make it really easy for prospective patients to come in and find information that they're looking for, whether it be a doctor's name or contact information. It was assigned to me to do that and to make the patient experience as easy as possible when it came to the Tennova website itself. Also, probably the biggest project that I was given over the summer was to research demographic information and the strategic plan for Lakeway Regional Hospital. It's a new hospital entering the Tennova healthcare system, and at the time that I was doing the research, not much was known about the hospital itself, except for the fact that it was in Morristown, Tennessee. And so I was given the task of researching everything, any and everything that had to do with with Lakeway Regional Hospital. I had to research their service lines, what they were good at, what they were bad at, what their competitor that was is also located in Morristown was good at. It was tricky because I had to narrow down the search to 3 specific service lines or disciplines that Lakeway could capitalize on in their particular service areas to make them and to set them up the best for success and continuing to grow the hospital itself and provide quality care for people in their service area. My duties and responsibilities were also pretty dependent on who I was following around or shadowing. I spent some time with the Vice President of External Communication, and basically I didn't really have any duties or responsibilities other than what he designated for me to do, which was mainly research. And I also set up some corporate luncheons that he and the CEO of the system itself were going to attend and promote the healthcare system so that people would be interested in it more and that they could continue to grow the business itself. I also spent time with the VP of Strategy, Jeff Potter, and I spent a lot of time being mentored by him. I read lots of lease agreements, and I actually got to sit in on a business deal, so that was pretty interesting. I spent some time with the Vice President of Business Development, and she told me, or also mentored me, and what it took to get to where she was and to be successful as a young person growing up and coming into the healthcare field. Also, the administrative assistant Lee Tiffin at North Knoxville Medical Center. I spent a lot of time just shadowing him around. He was new at his job and freshly graduated and freshly finished his internship up in West Virginia, and so it was interesting to see how he was going about meeting the people in the hospital and trying to make connections with them, as well as being successful in what he was doing. Weekly, like I said, it just kind of depended upon where I was located at North Knoxville. It was in the Human Resources Department. I did a lot of filing and putting job applications into the computers. When I was with administration, I shadowed Lee Tiffin around a lot, and I also spent some time with the CEO of that hospital itself. And I also spent some time at the Health and Fitness Center at North Knoxville Medical Center, and I followed the executive director of that fitness center around, John Ewert, and he gave me lots of practical advice on resumes and preparing myself for the workplace and how I could best position myself for going forward in the future to be successful. And then at Physicians Regional Medical Center, I spent a lot of time in the marketing department, as well as doing projects of that nature, as well as, like I said, spending time in the systems administration as well. A couple of defining moments. One of them was when I got to actually go and help to recruit a neurologist for North Knoxville Medical Center. I spent the entire day with Lee Tiffin, the assistant administrator, and Rob Followell, the CEO at North Knoxville. And we traveled up to Kentucky to talk to this doctor, and I just had an incredible time being able to help position a neurologist put him in a position at North Knoxville that he would be able to help people best. And I kind of at that moment knew that that's what I wanted to do. I knew I wasn't going to be a doctor, but I knew that I'd been given a certain set of skills that if I used them correctly, that I could recruit doctors and physicians of that nature and help to put them in a prime place to serve people that lived in the area that I lived in, and whatever ailments they came down with, or whatever sickness it seemed to come at them a lot, that I could put physicians in a place to be able to combat those and to treat those and hopefully to heal those ailments when they came along. Also, like hearing stories about people who came into the hospital very sick. Heard a lot of stories about people coming in with cancer, and how awful a situation that is, and their families are crying and wandering the hospital, halls like zombies. And when we stopped and gave them encouragement, it made their day. And so, and when, I'd see people in the community, and they said, "Hey, I really appreciate you talking to me. Then I really needed to be uplifted there." And then they would tell me about how their family member or their loved one had actually been healed and had been treated for disease or ailments or cancer, and that they were on their way to recovery. And it was an incredible time to be able to share that with somebody, and to be thanked in that way, even though I was just an intern. It made a big difference. And like I said, another defining moment was researching the strategic plan for Lakeway. It was really cool to be able to, on my own, find 3 specific service lines that the area needed. One, just for instance, the area itself was growing in the percentage of elderly people, and so I came to the conclusion that there needed to be a wellness center or a urology expert and women's health experts. And if the Lakeway could capitalize on that, then they would be in a prime position to continue growing the hospital as would best benefit the community. Major related things, I'm working towards being a CEO of a hospital, and my major is business administration, the management option. So throughout the entire summer, I saw all of these classes come into play. International business was one important one, because there's a lot of international physicians that come to the United States, and they try and find work. So that class was really helpful in knowing how to deal with people from different parts of the globe. Also macro, micro, and managerial economics. Just knowing how those things interacted and intertwined with daily business decision was huge. Also, another big one was not-for-profit management. Was just due to the fact that hospitals a lot of time are not for profit, they're not for-profit companies. So that's incredibly helpful. Organizational behavior was another big one. Just knowing how people in an organization think, the written and unwritten rules that can make or break an organization was incredible. It was incredible to see over a summer, and I think that it's going to be incredibly helpful moving forward when I go to graduate school and on to being a CEO, hopefully. Some of the pros and cons: I got my foot in the door, definitely, for future employment. I think that's an incredibly important part that can't be overlooked. I also learned how to effectively manage my time. That was an incredible opportunity for me to be able to do that on my own. Some of the things that I didn't appreciate so much was I did feel like I was doing some grunt work, and which was not a lot of fun at times. But I was haphazardly kind of sent to different places. People didn't know what to do with me, so they just kind of sent me off and said, "Hey, you can go hang out with this person for the day." And so I would have to drive an extended amount of time to go and meet that person. So that wasn't very fun at all. Is healthcare for me? I definitely think so. I think that, as I said, putting physicians and really intelligent people that want to help others in a position to help others as best they can, as they've studied for years and years, is an incredible opportunity that I think I've been given. And so I think that healthcare is definitely for me, and that healthcare administration is one of the things that I've been commissioned to do, is to help people as best I can in that way. So that's my presentation.